So guys, welcome to a new tutorial from Nyjo effects, and we are going to continue the Vantage series we just started last week. So the first project we move forward is the car rendering project. To have something that can work better with all the texture and stuff like that, I just bought the model from the website. We are talking about something around $7 or $8 US. So it is not so much. Inside you can find a project for 3ds Max, and the project is done to work with a Corona render. Actually here I have no license, but it is installed, so we can see the material, so we have not to start from scratch to prepare everything. The nice thing is that in this way we have the material applied to the model, and we can essentially redo the material to make the conversion to V-Ray, and then use the Chaos Vantage. We can essentially pick this model and move the stuff inside the other scene. So you see that here in the scene, in the layers, we have essentially some stuff that are not needed, like the camera. We have this model here. This one is not needed. And then just to be sure, I think we have no light. By the way, let's double check. Okay, we have no light. So we can essentially pick this model, pick essentially everything, and let's create a new group. Let's call it 550 shaded. So we know that this one is the one with the materials applied, and then we get to save this one as a new scene, just to be sure that we are not going to cover and overwrite the older one. Then we get to open our scene, the previous one we saved last time. Inside we can find our car, so obviously we don't need to play directly with this one, but we can essentially switch the car. Okay, so let's go to set this one as the layer we are working on, and then we get to use the merge. We get inside the folder where we have the scene, and we go to pick the object. It takes obviously a little bit to merge everything. Let's wait to have the control, and it stay on the same place. So we're going to move it just for a moment, and then we go to select everything inside the old layer, and we move it back, and then we go here to move this one. So we can set this one not visible, and we work for a moment on this one. So obviously if you go to play with the materials, let's say that we have a reset for everything, and then we select, for example, this one. You see that this one is a Corona material, so it needs to be tweaked and converted, because we have no possibility to render this one. So to play with the materials, we have to go inside. We can have a new layer. So let's say that we go to create a new layer, and this one is the Ferrari shaded. Okay, so let's go to open Vantage. We are still on the 2.5. We can update soon to the 2.6 because there are really some nice new features. Let's go to live link. And the first thing we can do is using 3ds Max as the main UI with a maximized UI. And if you like to have this one in front, you have just to click over here. And now you see that if we move something there, we are not losing the visualization of this of the Vantage UI. Then let's activate the live link. It is moving stuff over there. Obviously nothing is renderable at the moment because everything was set to be used in V-Ray GPU. We can open the scene configuration using the current Vantage. And then other things that can be done is that we can use this one as a viewport, just the rendering without the tabs and stuff like that. To do something like that, you have to go here and you have to set the mouse and key shortcut. And the one we are going to use is this one, the toggle interface. Okay? So if I'm here and I go to press the toggle interface, you see that we have essentially a viewport. That's all. So we can play freely inside 3ds Max and use this one as a viewport. That's really nice. So first of all, let's go to move a little bit up this one. Okay, then let's open the group. And the first one is essentially the car paint. We have no texture for this one, as you can see. So this one can essentially become a car paint material, and that's done. Okay, so we do something really simple. Let's say that the car is black and the flakes are white for the moment. Okay, then let's go to pick another material. So let's go to pick, for example, the glass. I like to see if they used anything about the glass, but there is nothing. So we can go to again a V-Ray material, and this one can use a glass as initial. Let's say that this one is thin walled. Still not tweaking anything here. Okay, then let's pick, for example, this one. The rims. We have some maps. So we have the base color, the roughness, and the metalness. So let's say that this one is the diffuse. And then this one is the roughness. And this one is the metalness. Okay. Let's go to a V-Ray material, and we can start saying that this one is the diffuse. Okay, it's inside the Corona bitmap, so we can't use it, but we can essentially pick the texture. So we are talking about the rims color. So let's go to use a V-Ray. So we have to build the scene. We can go back inside the texture, and we can have here the rim base color. This Cartier one. Okay. Okay, so that's the map we're going to use. We have to do the same for the roughness. So I think we go to pick the roughness, and this one is the metallic. So we can essentially copy this one to roughness. then we go to adjust the name and stuff like that. So let's go to peak rim's roughness, and then we need the metallic, and we have also the normal. So let's copy this one, and we go in the map list to select the normal, paste here, and then we go to select the normal, and then we need the last one, we need the metallic, so copy and paste, and here we get to pick the metallic. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Okay, that's what we have. Obviously, I like to control how it looks later, so I'm preparing a basic material, and then we go to play with the stuff to be sure that it is working in a nice way. What about the tires? So let's do the same. We go to pick the material, and it's using the texture bath. I think we have to, yeah, it's using the Corona bitmap. So this one is the wheel tires. Okay, so we can rebuild a material from scratch. That's not a problem. So here we get to have a V-Ray bitmap, and let's go here and pick base color. Okay, and we go to roughness, copy this one to roughness, then we choose the other texture. We have also the specularity here in this case, so let's copy this one here, and we choose the specularity, and then we have the normal. Okay, and then copy this one, set the normal, and then we have to clean the materials and select also the right naming. Okay, okay, we are starting to have something. Obviously, I like to work on the materials to have something that is more realistic. By the way, we have to pick this one about the brakes. So the wheel brakes is using the wheel brakes. Okay, so building a new material as always, and then we go to pick the video bitmap, and let's go to pick the brakes. We have also the anisotropy here, so let's select the color. Okay, and then we can use the same to decide the metalness, so let's copy this one and paste here. We go for roughness, then in the wheel brakes we need the metallic, okay. About the specularity, we can go for a nice specularity because I'm not sure if I'm going to use just the metalness. So then we need for sure the roughness, and we go to pick the brakes roughness. Okay. Let's see without the Fresnel. Okay, no, we have to take care about it later. So copy this one, and then we need a normal, as always, and paste the map that will become the normal. So wheel brakes, normal, and then we have to use the anisotropy. Okay. Let's double check the anisotropy, and we go to map here, essentially making a copy, and then we have to choose the right map. Okay, that's not bad. I think I will go to tweak a little bit the materials, but it's a nice starting level. Okay, so we need to play with the interior. Let's go to tweak something here, and I'm using an X form just to move this one for a moment up. And then the interior, I'm not sure if it is just the material, so interior it should be just one material. So it is using interior custom. Okay. So V-Ray material, and then we have to start as always to load the bitmap. So interior custom, we have different color variation. Let's go with base color 1. Okay, maybe if we have something that is different, just to double check, I like to see the interior custom 3, 4, 5, it is gray, and 6. Maybe we can use this one. Okay. So then, as always, then we need the roughness. So we set to roughness, copy this one, paste here, and load the roughness. So then we have just the metallic and the normal. Okay. Let's go to the metallic, and we have to change to metallic. Let's go to have a specularity, because we'll see later if we need it. And then we have the bump. So as always, we go to have a normal, and here inside we copy this one and then tweak to normal. Okay, basic material is done. Then let's see, for example, this material. Let's see what it's using the common. Okay, so V-Ray material, V-Ray bitmap, and common base color, roughness, copy to roughness. Here we go to save to load the roughness. Then we have the metallic and the normal. Copy here. Let's go for metallic. say that we have some kind of specularity for the moment, and then we go to add the normal, paste, and we go to load the normal. Okay. Okay, let's set to off the export, so we have the glass behind the interior. Okay, so you see that we have the interior of the car, and it's obviously some love, but we have a rough initial preview status of the material. Then let's go to pick this one, the exterior parts, and it's using exterior parts. Okay, so material, V-Ray, we go for roughness, then we go to choose for a V-Ray bitmap. Exterior parts, we have this one, and the base color number 2. Let's go with the first one, it's not a problem. Okay, I see that we have different maps, so I like to double check which is the best one we can use. So we have exterior parts, metallic, we're going to use also specularity and stuff like that, because I like to see what's going on. So let's copy this one, and I think I picked the wrong one. So here we need the exterior parts, roughness. Sorry about it. Okay. And here this one is the right one. And then we need the normal. We can copy as always the same. We go to tweak the naming here and say that we go to the exterior parts normal. Okay, so we have something more that is working in the car. Just to see something that is different, we can go in the car paint and say that this one is red. It is not the right material, obviously. It is something that is useful to make some tests. Okay, you see, in this way we are able to see in a better way what's going on. Okay, let's go to reset here so we have more space, and let's go to save this one as the scene number 2. You see, using this way to manage the scene is really amazing, because everything is really fast. So let's go to pick these pieces. We are talking about grills, and we have just the grills specularity and grills bump, and then essentially it is a black material. Okay, gray material, and let's go near to see what's going on. So this one is black, and we have a bitmap here for the bump. Let's go to copy directly. So we have this cutout, so we have the naming that is right, so that's the bump, and then we have the specular. Copy here. Let's say that this one is the specular. And we go to have a roughness. I think we lose the tiling. So the tiling was based on the scene. So okay, let's go back. Let's say that this one is really bright, and then we go to this one, and we go to make it manually. So let's say 10 and 10. We have the possibility to link everything inside the material editor, so we can use just one controller to control everything. By the way, this scale can be enough, and then we can go to something darker. Okay. Okay, and let's go to double check in front of the car if everything is working fine. I think we have the same material. Not sure, but I think it is the same, so let's double check. No, it's the exterior parts. Okay, maybe the specularity is really low. We'll do something about it later. Okay. Then we go to pick this one. Okay. It's using the external decals, and we have the specularity, roughness, and opacity, and stuff like that. Okay, so V-Ray material. Let's go for roughness. We go to pick a bitmap, and we go decals, this color, and then we need this one for the roughness. Then we have the specular. And we have the opacity and no bump. Okay. So let's go to the opacity. We have it there. So copy this one to opacity. And then we go to pick the opacity map. Okay, so we have also this one. Then let's go to play again with the X form, and we have to pick the materials in this area. This one is again the exterior, so we need to play with the stuff we have here. And the glass lights, we have just the normal that is using the glass lights. And just to be sure, tiling is set to 1. Okay, so it's glass light, and it's essentially a glass. Okay, so material, let's say we're talking about glass. Let's say that's 10 volt for the moment, and then we go for a normal map, paste one map, and then we go for glass light. Glass light normal. Okay, I'm not sure obviously that it is working, but we can, for example, double check here. Okay, it seems working. Okay, let's do something for the other lights. It is a red glass, and it's using the same map. Okay, so we can copy the map from here, and then we get to create a new V-Ray material. We say that we have a glass, go to paste this one. Okay, and then we say that this one is red, and we have the red for color. Okay, we have time to tweak the material later, no problem. So then we have this one that needs to be tweaked. So let's go to use a new slot, and we should have another material here. It's another glass. It is using the absorption tube red, also this one, and it has the same material with a normal. Okay, so we go to have a rewrite material. It's glass. Let's say that it's using the same. Let's go for 50 for the moment, and then it's using gray and then a red color. Okay, we'll tweak obviously as needed the material later. Okay, a small double check in the front of the car. Some stuff needs a little bit of love for sure, because the material here is not so nice. By the way, now let's get to pick this one. It's still a Corona physical material, and it's essentially a standard glass. Okay, so material, let's say that's glass. It's 10 volt. Let's say that is less dark, and then we'll tweak everything later. Don't worry about it. We'll see if we are still missing something, but I think that in general we have all the material ready. To see if something is missing, we can go here. Oh yes, something is missing. So let's set back this one to active, and then we go to pick. No, it is done. It is essentially a specularity, I think. Let's double check with the edges faces. This one is a model, and this one is another model. But I like to double check. This one is the shadows plane, so it needs a material for sure. And select. Yeah, it's the Corona physical, so it's a shadows plane, and we have just a diffuse. Okay, we'll adjust the material later, no problem. So paste. Obviously, it's not a normal, so don't worry about it. Shades, let's see, shadows plane. Okay, and we go to use this one. Discard old. We have the right color. Let's use a little bit of reflectivity, and then a little bit of roughness. So we'll see later if we have to tweak more or less the material, and back with the material here. So I think we have essentially a nice starting setup. So let's go in the lighting. We have the light dome that is set to 1, and we have essentially just this one. So let's say that the reflection is set to 2, so we have an higher reflectivity, and this one will be useful for the V-Ray render. In the case we are using just Vantage for the rendering, we have essentially to use an higher multiplier, so don't worry about it. You see that we are reaching maybe a better lighting just with this one, or if you like, you can also add, for example, another light inside, like sunlight. Maybe we have to do something here because these material are still not done. Okay. So back here and here, I think we are using something else. It's V-Ray and it's using the SF badge. Okay. So V-Ray material, and here we can clone, pasting the material. We go to copy here this cartable map, and then we pick the SF badge. Okay. It's obviously on this side, so swap, and then with a roughness we can have a specularity. We'll decide later how much. Okay. The grill here is okay, maybe it needs just a little bit of love. Okay, because it was too bright, so I like to see brightness just when we have the reflection, and then we can tweak. For example, this one you see to have an higher specularity or an higher reflection. And then we have this light. Let's reset again everything, and then we go to pick this light. It's a standard glass light. Okay, so the array material, let's go for glass. I think that's 10 volt, and then we go for something like that, maybe less. Okay. So also from this point of view, we have the material. I think we have material in all places. We have just to play in the right way with a setup to have something that works in a better way, you know. So you see that that's really nice. And that's just the beginning. So we have to clean up materials. We have to make better materials and more realistic, and then we have the possibility to animate something and render this scene directly with Vantage. Okay. So let's go to save. And then we are ready to move forward. So guys, let's say that it is time to stop this recording, so we have time to do something step by step. I don't want to have too much videos together. So we just rebuilt everything. Something that you have to remember is that now we have the materials here, and we should tweak everything. What I mean is, let's go in a Slate material editor, okay? Then we can have this one docked as we done last time, but it's not a problem for the moment. So let's say that we don't need the maps, and we need just to play with the same material. Okay, so we can start with a new view, and then this one is done. The car paint can be tweaked later. This one is not needed, so we can start, for example, with this one as an instance. And then we have, first of all, to tweak the material with the right naming. So this one is the exterior decal, and we call this one diffuse X the colors. Let's copy this one, then we go here, and this one is the reflection, and this one is the roughness, and this one is the opacity. Okay, so the material now is cleaner, and you can essentially play in a better way with the material. Then the others are, I think, essentially simple enough. So this one, he is essentially glass, so let's call this one glass normal. All the other stuff are similar, so let's say that we go to instance this one. Okay, I'm not going to create something that is cleaner for the moment, just because I like to tweak everything in a fast way. Glass normal, and this one is not needed, so back here, exterior glass windows, exterior grills. Okay, here we can call this one Next grills ref, or maybe we can do the same we done before, so we have ref in front of the name, and then we copy the same and say that this one is the bump. Okay, then we have exterior parts, and we have more maps. So this one is diffuse X parts. We can copy the same, and back here, obviously this one is the normal. This one is the roughness, and this one is the metalness. So in this way it's simple to tweak everything. Then we have a glass, it's not a problem. Let's go to use a common interior, and we do the same. So diffuse common int. So we know that we are talking about the common interior, and here we do the same, and this one is a normal, this one is the roughness, and this one is the metal. Okay, same for the common, the custom. So this one is the diffuse int common. Now this one is the custom. Okay, and then back here, copy normal. Roughness and metalness. As always, they are really similar. We have to tweak how the material behave later. This one is not needed. This one is a physical material, we don't need it. The SF badge is really simple. Let's create a new one for the SF badge. Okay, and let's call it this one diffuse badge. Then we have a shadow planes, and this one is the diffuse shadows, plane. And then we have the tire. The tire is a little bit more complex, but always similar to the other. So diffuse tire. We go to copy just this piece and say that this one is the rough tire, normal tire, and this one is the this one was the reflection, sorry, and this one is the rough tire. Then we have the brakes, and it works in the same way. So diffuse brakes, and we'll go to copy just this piece, and then we have the normal, roughness, anisotropy, and metalness. And then the last one, the rims. So as always, diffuse rims, copy the last part, and we have normal, rough, and metalness. Okay, done. So that's essentially the scene. Let's go to copy, everything is done. So in the next part of this tutorial series, we can focus on creating a more realistic material starting from the stuff we just prepared on the scene. And then we go to have the complete environment. We try to go for something really simple. And then we go to prepare the animation, and we'll try to do the animation partially in 3ds Max and partially in Vantage, and then we'll take a look at the rendering in Vantage. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching. I will see you really soon for a new tutorial, free tutorial from Nyjo. Bye.